Pecorino is an ancient grape and is deeply connected to the history of our family. Our grandfather helped to rediscover these ancient native grape varieties, which at the time was almost forgotten. He rediscovered in Arquata del Tronto, that is a little town in the mountain. He took these little plants and he put in our hill, and he planted our first Pecorino vineyard in 1987, and that vineyard is now called Vigna Madre, the mother Vigna Pecorino. In 1990, he produced one of the first pure Pecorino wines bottled in Italy.
Fascinating people with stories to share, fabulous wines and the best local foods to accompany them, and beautiful places to discover and visit. All of this and more on Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on the Italian Wine Podcast. Join me for a new episode every Tuesday. Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Today we travel to Le Marche, to the far south of the central Italian region on the Adriatic side of Italy, to near the wine town of Ofida, to meet my guests Camilla and Marta Tenuta Cocci Grifoni of the Tenuta Cocci Grifoni, one of the most important wine estates in the region, and also the owners of the Relais Cocci Grifoni, which is a beautiful hospitality relay in the heart of the vineyards. Buongiorno, Camilla and Marta. I was with you at the winery only just last week, so it's good to meet up again this morning. How are you both?
Thank you so much for having us, Marc. We are very well. This is Marta.
Okay.
Hello, buongiorno, Marc. Thank you.
Ciao, Camilla. Well, I've got a good vision in my mind of what a beautiful place you are, where you're at in the southern Le Marche. I'm imagining having a glass of wine on the terrace of the wine tasting room. But our listeners are located all over the world, and some of them may not have been to Le Marche and certainly may not have been to the province of Rosso Piceno. So can you describe where you are, what the landscape is like, what those beautiful views are like? Because I know you're poised between the sea and the fantastic mountains behind.
Yes. So right now, as you tell, we are in Marche region. So actually, more in the south of Marche, in Ascoli Piceno. The fun fact about Marche region is that Marche is the only region that is a plural name, that have a plural name. And even if it's a small and sometimes not very well-known region, like you said, that is fully of beauty and beautiful landscape. We can say breathtaking landscape. We always say that is a hidden region, so not a lot of people know about that. In fact, when our client discovered where we are, and especially the Tenuta Cocci Grifoni, that we are surrounded by the sea, vineyards, mountain, just in 30 kilometers, there is always they want to keep the secret to maintain the region true or authentic, and this is the authenticity of the region. So for that the region is plural, and in this plurality we are inside of the landscape. In that way, visiting the region, especially this area, mean that you can experiment real, true, authentic part of Italy.
I think you're right. That's exactly what I feel when I visit Le Marche, and I know the people that I bring, that I brought to you, and which we've been touring the region, also felt it's very genuine and it's still very undiscovered. And I think that's all the more reason for people listening to us now to make the effort to go to an area that they might not have thought of going to. And as well, it's a region that really links south and north, because you're looking directly over virtually to Abruzzo, aren't you? So you're really in the far south of Le Marche.
Yes, in fact, from our vineyard, the Vigna Misseri, that historical vineyard, we can see the Gran Sasso that is far away from here, 3 hours, but we can see. So yes, we are directly to Abruzzo, but also we can see, for example, the sea. Very nice place to live, actually.
Yes, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, having just been with you. And the Gran Sasso, of course, we drove over the Gran Sasso to
Yeah.
reach you, and it was still covered in snow. And there's another range of mountains that's very important to your family story as well. But perhaps we'll talk about that a little later, the Sibillini Mountains.
Yes.
Um, can you also recap for our listeners? Now, I recorded a podcast with your mother, Marilena. Oh, goodness, it was my 14th podcast. And I think it was over 4 years ago, so quite a
Yeah.
long time ago. And I think quite a lot has changed at Tenuta Cocci Grifoni since then. I know you're both fully involved now, and the relay has really developed since then. But I want our listeners to have a recap of
Yeah.
this important family winery. So just give us a little bit of a background of the history.
Yes. Well, we are Tenuta Cocci Grifoni, and we are a family winery that was founded by our grandfather, Guido Cocci Grifoni, and was founded in 1970. But we say that we have been a wine grower since 1933 because our great great grandfather, Vincenzo Cocci Grifoni, already had his own vineyard and produced wine. And today we are proudly one women lead winery with our grandmother, Diana, our mother, Marilena Cocci Grifoni, and then there is us, Marta and Camilla. And so we are officially the fifth generation of the family. The roots of our journey are in the vineyard and in the winemaking. But for more than 10 years, we have also focused a lot on wine tourism and also hospitality. In fact, in 2022, we opened Relais Cocci Grifoni. Is a resort all surrounded by the vineyard, and it was once a old country farmhouse that was completely restored. And Relais today is a fully sustainable place. Actually, is totally geothermic. That means that we use the power and the energy of the ground. And also, the relay is made by 12 rooms, all immersed in the nature. The particularity of the resort is not only the place, but also the meaning of each rooms, because there is the heritage of our family history. In fact, each room is dedicated to our ancestor and carries their name. We say that our motto for the relay is benvenuti nel mezzo di un bel niente. That means welcome in the middle of nothing, because we are in the nature.
Oh gosh, that sounds really, really beautiful. You know, I've visited you many times, but I still haven't seen the relay, so I'm looking forward to learning more about that today. Now, your grandfather Guido, you mentioned, your grandfather Guido is considered one of the important great pioneers of modern Italian wine for the work he's done at your estate, and in particular for the work he did to rescue from extinction a grape variety that's become very important. And we can't talk about the Tenuta Cocci Grifoni without also talking about the story of your grandfather's quest to restore this grape variety, which we now know about. So tell us about Pecorino.
Yes, the two stories are totally linked. In fact, Pecorino is an ancient grape and is deeply connected to the history of our family. And why it's connected is because in the 1980, our grandfather helped to rediscover these ancient native grape varieties, which at the time was almost forgotten. And he rediscovered in Arquata del Tronto, that is a little town in the mountain, he took these little plants and he put in our hill, and he planted our first Pecorino vineyard in 1987, and that vineyard is now called Vigna Madre, the mother Vigna Pecorino. And in 1990 he produced one of the first pure Pecorino wines bottled in Italy. From that time, today, Pecorino has become one of the symbolic wine of our region. And also, near Pecorino, another important denomination of our Piceno area is Rosso Piceno Superiore also, because the first vintage that our grandfather bottled was 1979, and Rosso Piceno Superiore is the perfect balance between the two red grape variety of our area, that is Montepulciano and Sangiovese. And we have, so Montepulciano gives the structure and the power, and the Sangiovese the freshness and the fruity. So it's very balanced and very harmonious wine.
Okay, that's actually a very good overview of these very important wines from Tenuta Cocci Grifoni. I'll just highlight the Colle Vecchio and the Guido Cocci Grifoni,
Yes.
Pecorino wines, the Ofida DOCG wines, and your flagship wine, perhaps, Il Grifone, Rosso Piceno. Is that right?
Vigna Messieri is our flagship for the red wine, and it's
Okay.
Rosso Piceno Superiore. And for Pecorino, we have Colle Vecchio that that was first bottled in 1990, and now we are 2025.
Okay, and Il Grifone, this is a super Marche. This is the, does it have Montepulciano and Cabernet?
Is totally
Totally Montepulciano.
Montepulciano.
So
Yes.
right
Okay.
now is totally Montepulciano from 7 years from now. Before was there was a Cabernet. So our grandfather planted in 1985 the Montepulciano, and we produced the Grifoni. Grifoni is like cru wine. We produce a few bottles of 100% of Montepulciano. And when our grandfather started to produce the Grifoni, he used also the Cabernet that right now we don't have, because we decided to do 100% of Montepulciano. So this is the differentiation with what our grandfather did in the past.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, actually, that explains it. It's a wine I love because I've sampled that with you, and it's a fantastic wine.
Yes, you tasted the 2002.
Yes,
Yes.
and it
So
was really, really wonderful.
24 years. He's a baby.
Yes. Now, your mother, Marilena, had a separate career before she entered the family wine business. I'm just wondering, did both of you know you always wanted to enter into the family business? And how do the two of you divide your efforts?
Allora, so good question. Actually, we grew up inside of the winery. We can say in the winery totally. So we grew up with our family is we can say in the is a stereotype. So it's very Italian family. So we work together, we eat together, we stay together all the time, and. My sister always say that we start to do all our four things. So like going with the bicycle, start to I don't know to walk and
Yeah.
everything inside of the winery. So when we were very young, we never have the for us it was normal to say it was very we are used to be inside and to see everything about the winery and hold the step in the winery. When we decided to go to the university, actually for me, I mean, I was very deep in inside of climate change. So for me, it was very important to understand how to mitigate and how what we can do as a family business, as a person, as a human person, to do something for not just for the future generation, but also for me, I can say. I mean, also for my family. So what I can do. So I decided to study climate change in economics way, and so I did this path. It was very important to have all this information to take a decision now, like a woman, but also an entrepreneur in this business. And yes, now I did the part of hospitality or the hospitality, but for me it's always important to do in sustainable way. That means a lot of stuff, but it means to be very authentic and never too much, we can say.
Okay. Okay.
Artificial, yes.
I know sustainability has been a very important
Yes,
area where you have developed in many ways. And I
many.
guess the climate change is something that's a reality over these summers we've had that have been so
Yes,
extreme in weather, not just the temperatures, but the extremes of excessive
yes,
rainfalls and challenging with fungal diseases. So, what are some of the steps you've taken to make the winery as sustainable as possible?
So, like a winery, and also and most in the vineyard, we try to be more sustainable in the vineyard. And from 2025 24, we are totally organic, and we have the certification vegan, and we took another important certification that is called Equalitas, that means we are sustainably in all part, from the vineyard to the winery. And also we try to discover a new kind of grape that are called PIWI,
PIWI.
that are resistant grape, that are resistant to the mug. And this kind of grape means that we can use less water, less carbon. And in last year, we officially came out with our first bottle of PIWI grape that is called Johanniter. And we made a totally new project, a really young project, and a really sustainably project from the vineyard, and also in the packaging, because the packaging is made by totally recycled glass. There is no plastic, there is no label, but the label is serigraphic in the bottle. We made a really, it's also a little bit courage, and we tried to make something different. And now we really tried to tell our story also for the innovation part. We want to take the tradition by, of course, Pecorino, Rosso Piceno Superiore, but at the same time we want to have some new product, and so to discover and something new.
Wow, I'm really interested to hear that. I didn't know about the PIWI project at all. I'm very interested in the PIWI grape varieties. Now, just for our listeners to remind, we have spoke about PIWI being fungal resistant grape varieties that are hybrid grape varieties, crosses between Vitis vinifera and other varieties of Vitis. They have been very successful in a lot of areas, developed in Germany originally, and we actually grow PIWI varieties here in the UK as well. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of them because the excessive heat and humidity means that wine growers who want to find a way to reduce the use and the dependence on chemical fungicides, for example, and other chemical treatments are seeking to find ways to do this sustainably. What is the variety that you are growing, or are you growing a number of varieties?
No, just one is a Johanniter.
Okay, I don't know that, but is it a white wine?
Yes, it's white. The grape is white, but we made a orange wine. We
Oh, okay.
decided totally to make something new, not only in the varieties, not only in the packaging, but also in the way we manage the grape. We decided also to took the grape really early. At the middle of August, we do the harvest to make a wine that was less alcohol. In fact, is 11.5, but without the alcoholing. So without using a lot of water and a lot of energy. And so we do our orange wine by the contact with the skin and only by using the silver stain. There is no amphora or concrete. So our main was to do a new, fresh, and a little bit crazy wine.
Yes.
Yeah. And how has it been received? Did you bring this to Vinitaly this year?
Yes, we took last year for the first time and also this year. Yes.
And you know
Ah,
the name of this wine
Ah,
is Manifesto. We decided to use this word Manifesto because it's a word that all over the world is the same meaning. And like Camilla said, there is a serigraphic on the label, and the serigraphic is our manifesto. So our manifesto of honest agriculture, because we can tell about sustainability, we can tell about ethics, we can just tell words, but we have to be we have to do something to tell something. And so we wrote our manifesto on the label. We really like and love this project because when we wrote our manifesto, we wrote actually our roots. If you are interested, we can tell you our manifesto.
we are really proud, like a proud mom about.
tell us your manifesto. Tell us your
Yes,
manifesto. I think this is very important.
yes, we're taking the label, and Marta is taking the bottle now.
No, I think it's very important. As you say, a lot of wineries will tell you about all the sustainability steps, but here's a bottle of wine that actually is what you believe in, that people can taste.
Yes. And it's for that that we decided to be transparent, honest farming, adapting to the future and honoring the past. Plant, nurture, wait, watch it grow. So this wine is our legacy for the future. So our the dichiarazione di honest agriculture. And this is our manifesto. And also the nice thing is that 11.5, so is low alcohol, and it's something that we think to us, like for me, like a mom, I think like to be more for our wine, that actually our Pecorino, our Rosso Piceno Superiore, they have the alcohol that is 13 14. So when we decided to do the manifesto, and so this orange wine, we decided also to do with the low alcohol. Another important thing that actually we never say, then this is important, is Camilla decided to do that, there is a low sugar.
There is no sugar.
No sugar.
We no had sugar in our wine, so all
Mhm.
our wine are residual zero.
Residual zero. Okay, so
Yes.
bone dry, low alcohol, and with the texture of the skin contact as
Yes,
well.
at the same time, it's very, really fresh, and the orange has a really vivid color, and you should try, really.
Yeah,
And
I will the very next time I see you.
yes,
You'll have
next
to bring
time
me a
in the
bottle.
relay with a
Yes.
glass of Manifesto.
At the sunset.
Definitely. Yes, perfect. Now, you mentioned both that Tenuta Cocci Grifoni and the Relais are an all-female run business. There's your grandmother, Diana, who I saw when I was recently over, and I've been to you in the autumn when she's still helping with the vendemmia, with the grapes coming in. Your mother, of course, who is dynamo. She's got so much energy. And then now the two of you both working together and bringing your own ideas, such as this new manifesto project. The world of wine used to be much more male dominated, certainly at the time of your grandfather, I'm sure. What do you think women can uniquely bring to a wine business?
Allora, so I think that we ask a lot about this question. I mean, inside of our family, I think that first in the hospitality, I mean, you can feel that actually, okay, we are welcome people, but also because probably there is
Some more sensitive
yes,
touch.
sensitive touch, we can
yes.
say in that way.
Mhm.
And another thing that actually we think that is in the curiosity, because we love a lot of stories, we love culture, we everything for us has a deep meaning behind it. So that's why we didn't want to be no only as a winery, but also for I don't know, for the beauty of the landscape, for how we can host you. I think this is a important women lead. There are a lot of time this question is made, but for us it's very normal. So I don't know how to lead a winery in different way, because there is always my grandmother that is involved in deep working, but also she want to rest, has have her nap, for example. I mean, I don't know in different, because our grandfather passed away more than
14 years ago.
14 years ago. So we were very little to understand the men lead. We know just the women lead, that is
Right.
like a
Yes.
dynamo and work
Idea, a lot of
idea.
idea.
Yes, a lot too much idea.
A lot of
and
project.
a lot of project. We just know this creative part, and so probably it's this. But I have to say that I've never worked in another place instead of my winery. Just when we were very young in a pizzeria, I was like this. So I see that people like the energy that we have, and so and one thing that the people say to us, the light. So you have light, you breathe, and so we say, okay, probably it's this.
No, I can understand that, having been with you on a number of occasions. And of course, you mentioned the importance of hospitality, of giving
Yeah.
a warm welcome. And I think that's something that is a real strength of visiting Tenuta Cocci Grifoni, as well as the Relais, which I haven't visited. But let's just talk about hospitality, because it isn't just staying in the Relais, it's also what you offer in the winery. When I was with you recently, not only did I have a wonderful vertical tasting of the Colli Vecchio Pecorino wine I love, demonstrating how the best Pecorino wines have a great capacity to age, something not all white wines can do. But also we enjoyed this tasting with the most wonderful tasting menu to pair with your wines. You're working with a very talented young chef, aren't you?
Yes. So this is for us is very important, because years ago we mainly offer just wine tasting. Now people came here and just want wine tasting. For us was not too much. We wanted that people stay with us, and I don't know, like live also with us, and understand our philosophy, not just drink the wine, but also living us. So for that we now in the Terrazza Cocci Grifoni, everything became more complete. Also with the restaurant, also with the chef, also with a team, a very young team that love to be here. And as you can understand, the Marche region is a hidden region, but also not well-known region. So also there are many young people like me and my sister that go abroad. So they don't feel the necessary
Free to
yes
stay.
the yes to be here, to stay here, and have a team of young people that believe in our project and actually in their project, because also they give idea and they're part of creativity. For us is very important, and
is the fire that
yes, it's the fire.
is the fire of our way to do hospitality and to do tourism. And so there is like a
synergia.
Yes, it's like a synergy between the winery that is Tenuta Cocci Grifoni and the Terrazza Cocci Grifoni and the restaurant, and then at least the Relais that is hospitality. And that means with the Relais the client and can really feel deep our family, but at the same time really feel the landscape and what we means when we talk about le Marche.
Yes, I think it's a completely immersive experience, which is something that I want our listeners to understand, and that this is really a special immersive experience. Another thing that I think is important is that both of you are very young, and there's a young energy that you're bringing into the business. And I think making it very attractive for young people to come to visit Tenuta Cocci Grifoni and the Relais. Is that right? Are young people in your area or from outside the area attracted to what you're offering?
This is a good point. So because of our proper energy, because of us, I mean, of course, there is social media, so Instagram and Facebook. So we arrived to people of our generation. Actually, we are millennials. So our aim for the next 2 years to attract also a new generation that is
famous Gen Z.
The famous Gen Z
Yes.
that all the people talk about. Probably no one
no Gen Z. What they really want.
They really want because it's a fact that people drink less, that young people drink less. Actually, the people that came here are our generation, so millennials and the generation of my mom. So we can say the boomer.
I think your mom's too young to be a boomer.
No, actually,
she tells herself that she's a boomer.
Yes,
she's a proud boomer.
She always a proud boomer. She doesn't know how to use social.
Me too.
And so, I mean, the hospitality is challenging right now because when our grandfather started, there is just wine tasting. Now we can host people and give them a different experience. And but our important point, aim, is that everything is connected to wine and the way how we produce wine before how we do agriculture. So even if you come here and you do just easy wine tasting or tasting with the pairing of wine, and so all the wine tasting with the food. So, for example, 5 courses with 3 wines. At the end, you have to understand how we care about land, how we do something for climate. Of course, us. And so it's important to us. The hospitality for us is this. If you feel something with us, with our family, you can probably like also our wine. The same way is in the Relais Cocci Grifoni. So the Relais is like Camilla tell you, is inside of the vineyard, and the idea of the Relais came very naturally because just we want that the guests stay longer, stay more time with us, but also that slow down in the vineyard, because when you came here you see all these beautiful hills and you want to stay more. So we have these we had these yes, we start. One thing that I'm very proud to say, so I would like to tell you, is that in at the Relais Cocci Grifoni we created the first cultural retreat in Marche region, that the name is Ecosofia. Italian Ecosofia, the term is focused in the Greek roots of oikos, so home, environment, it means eco, and Sophia, so wisdom, and is the way to describe ecological philosophy aimed at harmony between human beings and nature. And so Eco Sophia is a retreat where people stay with us for 2 or 3 days and live with us the way how we live here. So this is very nice.
Wow, that's an amazing initiative. That sounds a really immersive, again, an immersive experience.
Immersive experience, yes.
Yeah, I think that's what I really want our listeners to understand, that visiting the Tenuta Cocci Grifoni is to enter into the world of Le Marche and of the Cocci Grifoni family's culture and warmth. Certainly, the wine tastings with the paired foods is a wonderful experience. I think it's one of the I've been to many wineries, and I think the restaurant that the foods that you're serving with the wines pairs so beautifully and reflect the countryside where we are. I'm just remembering that beautiful dish of taglioni con ragù di coniglio, this rabbit
And coffee.
And coffee,
Yeah.
that little touch of powdered of the crushed coffee to give a bit of texture and flavor as well, paired so beautifully. Well, thank you so much for explaining what you're doing now, giving us a feeling of this energy of a new generation, building on the energy of your mother, that such an important powerhouse behind your winery, and of course on the legacy of your grandfather Guido Cocci Grifoni and your grandmother, who is still involved. And I know there's a new generation now as well.
It's a new women generation also.
A new women generation. I met Baby Anna. So
Baby Anna.
yes. Well, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure meeting up with you again, seeing you just after I saw you in person last week. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again and to tasting some of your new wines and learning about the exciting things that you will be continuing to do. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marc.
Thank you, Marc, and spread your culture like or just you know how to do, because we need people like you, really.
Thank you. E un abbraccio a Maria Elena.
Certo, un grande abbraccio a te.
Grazie. Ok, a presto. Ciao. Ciao. We hope today's episode of Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on the Italian Wine Podcast has transported you to somewhere special. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your pods. Likewise, you can visit us at ItalianWinePodcast.com. Until next time, chin chin.